All right, let's see here. How does this look when I'm up here? All right, I can go down just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. All right, we'll have to figure that out. Let's first do that. All right, people aren't going to want to see me. They want to see the kayak today. Okay, is that flat? So how am I looking? It's not looking too bad. All right. Whoever is that one person who joined, if you can hear me, let me know. I got a brand new phone, brand new kayak. First time I'm doing this, so. All right. Let's see here. Ugh. For those 2 people in the chat, I'm going to wait and see if we can get, maybe 5 to 10 people in here before I start doing anything. I might start cutting bait up and throwing them on rods. My buddy got here just a second ago, and I got impatient, so I did kind of test the kayak out a little already. All I did was went and grab bait. So we got some decent bait. We got one of these, but then we have a lot of little ones. All right, you guys can hear me. Very good. Let's get out of the wind. We'll use these first couple minutes just to cut bait up, see if we can get a couple more people in here. And then, yeah, we'll just get to testing. My buddy Mark is up here dragging. And I'm going to put this through a series of tests live that everyone can see. I might angle the camera down just a little bit so you can see the kayak's performance and not me. This live is for the kayak. This live ain't for me. So I can tell you already, just from the rip, just a little bit that I've used it, the kayak's going to be perfectly fine. The only thing there's a few minor details I have to figure out myself, but I mean, that comes with every kayak. That's because every kayak's just a little different. All right, maybe I should go up a little higher. I don't want to get in front of his drag, though. Is the wind, anyone in the chat, is the wind too bad? All right, actually, first test. We're going to go full speed, and we're going to hit spot lock. All right, first test pass. And guys, remember, I'm raised 4 inches off of the tracking. So off of the actual deck, I'm probably 8 to 10 inches off the deck. I'm not really sure how deep yet. If you want to consider the gunnel system, then I'm probably 10 inches. If you want to just consider where the deck is, I'm probably 8 inches off. So first test, fine. Let's do a little, we'll spin here. Actually, let's angle this down just a little more. What's up, Isaiah? Okay. All right. I got the Lowrance there. We're going to spin. Let's see here. That's fine. I'm putting a ton of weight on the side here. So when I land fish, I don't know, Ryan and Chris, my buddies who have the 360C on their kayaks, they do all their landing and stuff in the back. I go to this front deck space. As I'm fighting fish, I turn and I land mine in the front. So I got to be able to make sure I can spin around both ways. And I got giant boots on today, so normally spinning in boots is an issue. My Lowrance is out of the way. All right, so we got our first test out of the way. What's that? All right, let's do a little full speed standing in the back. Well, first, let's see if we can get to my net. My net is completely out of the way. It's actually not convenient to get to, in theory. So let's see if I can get to my net. All right, I'm in the back 3/4 of it, maybe a little farther. I am standing on the gunnel, the right gunnel, reaching. I'm putting all of my weight in the back right of the kayak. All right, no issue on stability there. When I actually start fishing, I'm going to probably put my net up front because that, when I'm actually fishing, that's probably not going to be reasonable to do. All right, let's see here. What else? If I needed to reach we're going to reach in the very, very, very back now to get my drift sock just in case I have to get it this way. Oh. All right. For people who don't know, my rod rack's about 1.5 feet tall, so I can reach over my 1.5 feet tall rod rack and get to my drift sock if I need. Well, 2 feet if you include the rod holders I gotta get over. All right. We got enough room for me. I'm in the back now. For people who can hear me, I'm in the back. We're gonna take it off a spot lock. We're gonna go full speed here. And then we're also, let's see here. We're gonna do a sharp turn at full speed once we get closer to my buddy Mark. All right. Full speed against a little current. We're topping out about 4.7 right now. I was able to top it out at 4.8 earlier when I was sitting normal. And then when we get up near my buddy, I'm going to start doing donuts. And we're going to drastically turn the motor as hard as we can to try and get me to flip out of this thing. I don't even have my feet spread. My feet are like touching each other. I'm essentially in the worst possible situation to do this, outside of being a current. All right, here we go, Mark. Let's go. Everyone say hi to Mark. All right, let's go the other direction. All right, so the reason that test is important, we're up in hydros, we're in spot lock, we're bumping. When those waves come from the side, they will often knock your motor out of whack. We need to be able to know for a fact that that we're not going to fall out of these kayaks when we're up in the hydros when the motor decides to go 90 degrees right, full power. So that test right there essentially simulates that. All right. Now we're going to go full speed, and we're going to walk the gunnels at full speed. Can I walk the gunnels at full speed? That's not recommended in any kayak, but this is for testing purposes. So yeah, I can walk the gunnels at full speed, no real problem. Doing it with the paddle side was kind of sketchy because the paddle started shooting water into the kayak. But, you know, if for whatever reason, I found the fact that I had to. Another thing, check this out. I never had a fuse on any of my other kayaks. Let's say the XI3s, unfortunately, have issues where sometimes they get locked. Whatever direction you're going at, whatever speed, I got my fuse right here behind me. I just killed my motor. Now, that's probably not good for the motor, but for testing purposes, I can kill it at any point in time. What else? How far can I lean over before I start feeling unsafe? And remember, I'm like 4 inches high. So the kayak ain't going nowhere. I would fall out way before this damn kayak. Like, I'm falling out of this way before anything bad happens. All right, let's see here. What other silly things I can do? Oh, these marks. This is tough not to start fishing. These marks are actually really good. We got 51. Actually, let's go out into the Ohio real quick. We got 51 degree water temps here. Back in what we call the pond, It's 53, 54 degrees in the back. I'm probably going to drag that a little bit. Ohio River's got about 3 mile an hour current right here with an upstream wind. So this is essentially the worst conditions you can have. We've got about 15, 20 mile an hour winds coming upstream. Now, my buddy Mark, he's back there, so I probably won't go out into the river. I'll just go to where it hits the 3 mile an hour current. Let's see how this baby handles. Let's see the speed we get. The one thing I'm concerned about, and it could be the placement of the trolling motor head. My buddy Chris, thanks a lot, Chris. He moved it on me at a show, not even realizing what he was doing. But I don't think my motor head's in the right spot. So I wish I could show you guys this. Boats wouldn't be out on this thing, guaranteed. I haven't seen a single boat yet, and today's really good fishing. So we're going to ease our way into the Ohio River. Yeah, woo, woo, already hit. Well, this current is hooked. These waves are big. All right, we're gonna keep going. Maybe we'll go like a quarter. If I get a quarter of way in, I'll be at the full current of the Ohio River right now. This is one of those conditions today where, like, if somebody saw a kayaker out on the Ohio today, you'd be like, "What the hell is this idiot doing?" Like, these are really bad conditions. I don't know if the cell phone is picking it up as well as I would hope it to, but I don't know, 1.5 to 2 foot wakes, which makes it 3, 4 foot swells. All right, let's get perpendicular with those waves. This is the scariest wave right here. When the wave's coming up behind you, pushing your nose forward, this is the most unsafe position to be in. So I'm taking a little water over the nose, but nothing more than I ever have in any other kayak, so no issue here. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is the sketchiest thing, so let's increase the speed a little bit. Your prop placement is huge with this, because the lower your prop, the more water you're going to pull in. Some people even angle their motors. Oh, yep, we're going to slow that down. All right. I just killed the motor. And this isn't a kayak issue. This is a me issue where I have my rope. It fell into the water. So let's find a new place to put this rope. All right. That should work. That's crazy. That wind is so strong. So the current is cooking. The current's going about 3 miles an hour. And I'm only going downstream 0.9. That's how much wind we have. All right, let's start taking this downstream. Now, something I'm gonna have to do is I'm probably gonna have to prop my motor angle up a little to take these waves a little better. But that's just kind of standard operating procedure. I know a lot of kayak guys that do that. All right, let's see here. All right, here comes a good 2-3 foot wave. We're gonna go right through it. Well, that's not that bad at all. I'm taking some water in, but not a lot. If my game plan was to fish the real hard. All my scuppers would be out to allow all this water to go through. The cutter system they have in this is really good. The water goes straight through the kayak. Woo! All right, there you go. Now you guys, at this end, you can really see the deal we're done. I'm actually really looking forward to bumping this later. It's cold though. The wind is coming upstream. Whoa, it's cold. So if you guys can hear all that chop, that's me going like 45 degrees into the current. Probably the worst place you could be going into the current. I got the waves coming up behind me, about 15, 20 mile an hour winds. You guys can see it, it's white caps back there. We're fighting about 3 mile an hour current. I'm nowhere near full power. I'm going upstream against 3 mile an hour current, about 2 miles. No, we're at 3 miles an hour now. All right, my buddy Mark is pretty far away from me now, so I'm gonna get back in that back creek, and yeah, let's start dragging. I can throw my cast at once if you guys want me to. I don't really need to. I got bait, but I'll throw my cast at once so you guys can see it on camera. There's surprisingly not a lot of debris. The only real debris is the seam line at the back creek. The Ohio River right now is 51 degrees, so the back creek's warmer, back creek's up, so we have all the signs for good back creek fishing. All right, I just ran into some pieces of wood on purpose. It sounded fine. All right, so yeah, now I'm out of the Ohio River. You guys, I mean, I can't stress enough how dangerous that was. It might not have seemed dangerous with me out here because I go up into hydros and kayaks. I've done it hundreds of hours. I will fish the Ohio River like that later today. We'll put a video out, no problem. I can't stress enough though. I would not go out in any kayak. Like I could not suggest going out in any kayak in those conditions. If you're not with a buddy or if you're not experienced, don't do that. That's not okay. But for testing purposes, you guys, 3+ mile an hour current, 20 mile an hour winds coming upstream, whitecaps. I went out there every direction. I would definitely suggest not having your scuppers in when you do that, because I do have water in here now. But that, I mean, you're kayak fishing. You're going to get wet. That's not the boat. That's just kayak fishing. I'm going to lift one of these scuppers. Let's see. I am completely loaded down. Let's see if water leaves or water comes up. That's not too bad. It's essentially sitting like that much with, I have about 400 pounds of gear on this today, including myself, so close to 600 pounds of gear. Only about that much water is coming up through the scupper. So, I mean, that's not, considering I have like 600 pounds on this kayak today, that's not that bad at all. But we're going to throw that scupper back in there. All right. We'll throw the cast net real quick, just to show you guys. I'm not marking any bait fish, but I'll just throw the cast net really quick. We'll get the fishing. Actually, let me see if I got any questions. Oh, all right. I was probably cutting in and out because I was on the Ohio River. Sorry about that, guys. It's extremely windy out there. Like these conditions, like I can't stress how bad these conditions truly are. If you're local, you know, there were a couple people who were going to fish today and were like, nope, you're insane. All right, throwing the cast net. Like you see, I can lean both ways if I want. I can throw front or out. I can throw the cast net out of any side, which is fine. So that's good. I should probably do the whole thing. I normally stand the entire time. All right, I'm leaning over. Let it get to the bottom all the way. All right. All right, nothing in the cast net, but that was simply for testing. I'm not worried about that. If I was out on a bait trip, I'd probably take my plugs out, just because when you got your plugs in, you know, your the water you bring in from the cast net kind of sits. But yeah, I don't know if my buddy Mark has caught any yet, but we're gonna start our drag right here. All the bait has been out here. It hasn't been back there. Or it's all been in the creek. It hasn't been in the pond. We're gonna drag here for a little. We're gonna drag the pond maybe for a little. I'm only gonna go live for a little bit of the drag, and if we don't catch a fish, we don't catch a fish. And then yeah, that'll be the end of the live. So let's get our pole set up now. And then I'm trying to figure out how I want, because I'm live. I kind of want to face you guys. Any questions, guys? Yeah, Dale. I easily, conservatively, I have 500 pounds. I'm pretty sure I have about 6. I brought every single piece of fishing gear that I own on this kayak today. Normally, when I go fishing, I know I'm either bumping, dragging. I normally just bring the flavor of the day. If I'm tournament fishing, I bring everything. But like today, I probably would have only brought my dragging stuff, because my buddy Mark and I were probably just going to drag my dragging and bumping stuff, which is only 1 tackle box. But I brought every single piece of equipment that I own for kayak catfishing. And yeah, no issues. So, and my seat is ridiculously high. My seat's actually higher than it's going to be once we get the C channel. The only thing I have to figure out is my wiring. So Raccoon Creek Outfitters, they don't use crappy wire. They use 6-gauge, which I really appreciate, because the moment I changed from 8-gauge to 6-gauge, it completely changed my wiring issues. I haven't had a single wire issue since I moved up from 8-gauge. The only catch with that, when it's cold, it gets stiff. So the way we initially planned it, I can't do because the wires are so stiff. So I might have to go rearrange that, but I mean, the function's still perfectly fine. It's just the area that I have it. Also, you guys saw me completely swing my seat. It's not like it's affecting my seat. So, oh, I never even had my paddle leash on. So I was in really bad waves out there. My paddle never popped off, which is good. Oh, that's a big mark. I want to start dragging here, but you know what? I'll use planer boards. That's what I'll do. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go back out into the Ohio. We're going to start the drag from out there, get a line going, then get the planer boards. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to have 1 rod with giant bait on right here. We got some pretty good bait. How do I want to do this? So I can leave my bait up on the side here, which is fine. I got double hook rigs on everything, just because I kind of was hoping, I just wanted to increase my chances at catching a fish today. We're going to use this big shad on all of my rods. I should be able to get 6. That's how big the shad is. I should be able to get 6 pieces out of it. It is still kind of cold, so my side sections I'm going to make more vertical than wide. Depending on the time of the year, water temps, etc. Sometimes I'll use more of a square piece. Sometimes I'll use more of a vertical piece. Today is vertical. Oh, my hands are cold. All right, I lied. I'm only going to get 5 pieces out of this guy. And then we'll go essentially this shad hole. Oh, no. I just kicked my paddle off. Wait. All right, we're fine. That's why you should have your paddle leash on. We're gonna grab a baggie out of my my cooler real quick. This 5-gallon bag that I use for my cast net sinks a lot quicker than you would think. it flew off my kayak earlier when I went to throw my net, and it sank pretty quick. I almost didn't get it back. Come on, get out of here. If anybody has any questions on the kayak testing today, put them in the chat. Once I get baited up, I'll check the chat really quick, and then once we get this out there, if anyone's on who's curious on how to set up a drag out of a kayak, I'll go through the step-by-step process. Wait. All right. Maybe you guys can see how bad the Ohio. Nah, the cell phone doesn't do it enough justice. But yeah, y'all can see how aggressive I'm being when I'm leaning over. I got my foot on the side of the kayak. Oh, I didn't prep nothing. I don't have any of my dragon weights out. We're going to try and use 2 ounces. If we can't get away with 2s, we'll go up to 4s. There is a little current action today. Ooh, that's thick. Oh, I brought the wrong one. Oh. 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 You kidding me? Well, I thought I consolidated my dragon weights into one tackle box. I used to have one for big dragon weights and one for little dragon weights. Apparently, I didn't do that. I only have my big ones. So, luckily, I have some from. You know what? No, we're just going to use all 4s. I don't want to have to reel in if I don't have to. OCT10 at Catfish Sumo. Reason I love using his dragon weights and his gear. He sells everything. There's a time and a place for every type of dragon weight. And he sells the stiff dragon weights and he sells the slinky style. This is typically a mud back creek, so I use the slinky style when I'm fishing mud back creeks or muddy lakes. I use the stiffer style out in the Ohio River to get over structure. Granted, the Ohio River is mainly mud. The occasional structure that comes around, I do prefer having the stiffer dragon weights. We got various depths today on all of our baits. We're going to be anywhere from 4 inches off the bottom to 2 feet, 3 feet. There's your dragon setup, dragon weight, that float, double hook. Oh, no. All right, well, y'all came to see what it's like fishing with me. I just tangled my lines up. How's that? my bumping rig came undone on the island somehow. What is this? It is a comedy of errors. You guys get a, you're getting the true, you're getting the true treatment of how it is to fish with me. Nothing's prepared. Everything's going wrong. My line has, are you fucking serious? Oh, sorry. It's live. I forgot. I shouldn't be cursing. Rule of thumb with me, if it could go wrong, it's going to go wrong. There's like no such thing as a day of fishing where nothing goes wrong. But that's kind of just kayak fishing in general too. Always assume the worst and be happy when you get the best. This process might seem a little wonky, but it's only because I'm live. I normally would just be facing that way the whole time. It is still kind of the transition mode, so I only have one bigger hook on. The rest of my hooks aren't that big. I'm not really expecting a super aggressive bite. We're only going to run 2 rods until we know we're out of the crap, and then I'll throw planer boards on them, and then we will start running 3 rods. Scales. Also, I can't feel my fingers. If I haven't mentioned yet, it's cold. I'm the worst live ever. I don't know if I've looked at the chat in like 10 minutes. For all I know, there's no one on. All right, all the rigs are set up. Let's get the actual drag set up, and I'll walk you guys through exactly what I do. All right, do we have any questions before I start? Yeah, Steve, definitely. All right. So the XI3, if you guys can hear me, there's a cruise control setting, and you want to use cruise control. Today we're going to be dragging at 0.3 because the water temperatures are on the rise. So we're going to try and hit that 0.3, 0.4. We're coming out of Atlantic regions just recently. So dragging should be viable. It should be viable. What you want to do is you want to get relatively close to 1 mile an hour. And you want to face the direction you're going, which I'm not that direction yet. We're going to be dragging into the back creek. There's no debris anywhere in this back creek except one big log in the middle of it. You got to be kidding me. All right, so we're going 1 mile an hour. You hit cardinal direction. I'm going 1 mile an hour. Then you hit cruise control. All right, now my motor's trying to go 1 mile an hour. Every time you hit up and down from here, it's a 10th. So I'm going to hit down 7 times to get myself to a 0.3. However, I'm dropping my lines first. I like dropping my lines while I'm still going 1 mile an hour. That way I could get myself some space before I drop the speed down. I usually thumb my baits down until I feel them hit bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now my motor should try to go 0.3. You see how I'm sideways those? This is where planer boards are going to kick in. Because this wind's really bad. When you go sideways, my lines are going to start coming close. If you got planer boards on, it doesn't matter how much you turn. The planer boards are going to keep your lines spread apart. Which I'm going to put a planer board on. I know I said I wasn't going to yet. I'm going to put a planer board on this one now, to ensure it don't get tangled. One nice thing too, planer boards act as a mini drift sock. They do provide enough. Yeah, I'm completely sideways. This is not good. I'm going towards the shore. Welcome to the life of dragging out of a kayak. When your vessel can be completely overturned or overthrown by Mother Nature. All right. Well, yeah, let's get this planer board on now. We're going to put a planer board on how you're not supposed to. Sit inside. I'm sideways in the kayak, by the way. A trick to planer boards. Just move your rod tip sideways. Don't try and reach up for it, especially when you're vertically challenged like myself. Oh, no. I hate when that happens. Okay. We're going to increase the speed just a little bit to get my planer board out. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other rod. This one's going to be more tricky. Dude, just having to swing it over a bunch of. All right. We got the planer boards going. Once we get out of this wind that's kicking us sideways, we'll get that third rod out. That's a good mark. I could throw a drift sock, but that won't really help because there's barely enough current for it to help. All right, let's see here. I got to figure out a way to go live and still be able to face my rods. Hey, what's up, Andy? Social Circle Georgia, nice. I believe that's what you said. For anyone just joining, we're now dragging. All the testing was done in the beginning. Relatively aggressive testing. Now we're dragging. We're in a back creek trying to get out of the wind a little bit. Once we are straightened out, we're going to get our third rod out, but we have our two outside rods. I'm in Ohio, so I can only run 3. We have our 2 outside rods with planer boards. And then once we straighten out a little bit, we're going to get that normal, our third rod out. Double hook rigs, fresh shed. And yeah. Trying to go, water temps are about, they're 50 out there. They're 51, 52 in this stretch. And then once I get to the pond, it's about 53, 54. There was no bait. It was weird. There was no bait in the pond. And for locals, a lot of us go to the pond to get bait. All the bait is in the back creek. So I feel confident out here. But I mean, I can't come here in high conditions and not drag the pond. The pond's one of our few cheat codes to like catch fish guaranteed, even if it's just a couple channels. Oh, you're in a freeze warning. It's pretty cold. I think it's like high 30s, low 40s here. I think we got it's even worse now. We got 20-ish mile-an-hour winds out in the main channel. I'm gonna let a little more line out of these planer boards. We're gonna get this cast net out of the way, back where it belongs. We're going through like a little opening in the marina. So I'm completely sideways again. This is where planer boards shine. If you were trying to drag this without planer boards, your lines would be this close together and get all tangled up. If a fish hit, it'd be a nightmare. That's a big mark. That's a big mark. I want to go 0.3, but once I set it to 0.3, I kind of get pushed off to the side. I don't stay in the channel. So I guess we just got to accept 0.4 for now. I run the BCAT multi-species boards just because they're more convenient. They don't take as much space. I'm going to actually put hooks on my rod rack so I can hang my planer boards up so they're not even on the floor of my kayak anymore. All right, check the chat here for a second. Oh yeah, the planer boards are it's a lot of reasons. To spread the baits out, get a wider spread. Specifically today, it's so I can drag in inclement conditions and still have my lines not like falling over top of each other. Yeah, if you try dragging this today without planer boards, I won't even attempt it. It'd be a nightmare. You would either have to do it with one rod, or you would have to like side drag. You would have to have a rod holder in the front of your kayak, a rod holder in the back of your kayak, and go out to the side. When before I had a motor, that's how I used the wind. I just used the wind. I side dragged. The only thing that stunk with that is once a fish hit, it would pull you up, and all your other lines would inevitably be tangled every single time you caught a fish. But the question is, what are you willing to do to catch fish? And at that time, I was willing to do anything. Now I'm a little more lazy. What's our speed? Well, you know what? I can fix this while I'm here. I gotta have this angled up a little more. My seat's so high that I have to like change the angle of my fish finder. I'm either hung or I have a hit on this rod. I'm pretty sure I'm hung. Oh, I got it. Oh, come on, pop out. Glad I reeled that in. I lost one of the baits. There's a chance I could have been ahead, but I don't think so. Dragging through here, if you're gonna get hung, it's typically right around. How fast am I going? Oh wow. Come on, motor. All right. Why am I going that fast? What's going on? What's going on? I'm like doing a. Oh, come on, motor. These motor guides aren't the best. Let me just put it that way. Every now and then they just stop listening to direction control, which is infuriating. Yeah, like mine just stopped listening to direction control. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh. Welcome to the world, dragging out of a kayak. It's brainless, mindless fishing unless technical difficulties. All right, now we got 3 rods out. We're gonna drag up to this bridge. If we don't catch one, I'll probably call it quits on the live. The point of this live was to do the testing, not to fish. I was hoping to get one on. Yeah, I was hoping to get one on while we were live, but I'm not exactly your live type. It's not my thing. What I really should do, since I'm going sideways and I have the rod holders, the plastic rod holders from Stealth, I should just angle my rod holder different, but I'm too lazy. It would take 2 seconds. Thank you, Steve. The one struggle about dragging this is never for a lack of marks. Always plenty of marks dragging this. Oh, all right, I got hung. Yeah. If this hang don't pop, I'm going to get off the live, and then I'm going to go back to the pond and drag. Instead of a planer board, I'm just going to long line one and short line one. That's a lot better. I can't lie, though. I'm really excited to go bump. This is actually the first place I ever caught a fish bumping. Out of a kayak. First place I caught a fish bumping with was actually my buddy Mark. The level. Oh, these sunglasses are killing my ears. Real-time mapping is priceless. I wonder, how well can you guys see my rods in the background? I got a new phone. I think it's a much higher quality. I have no idea. I think wait, hold on. What if I go this direction? Well, if I get a hit, you guys, it would be one of those two rods. So you guys should be able to see it. All right, we're coming up on the bridge. I'm gonna do classic things that I do on live, reel up, and then we're gonna fly to Mark, which he's right there, which tells me he probably caught a fish. And then I'm gonna go into the pond then. I'll stay live for dragging the pond for a little, but after that, I'm gonna hop off. This is nice. This is just like being in a boat, except you're not walking around the boat to reel everything in. That's what I like to see. All right, let's get this puppy going. It never fails. When you pull up your lines, you see amazing marks, but it don't matter. All right, well, let's go say hi to Mark, and then he's standing up. Is he waving? I don't know. We're gonna go say hi to Mark, and then we're gonna go drag the pond. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna hit cardinal direction at full speed. This normally gets real sketchy. And it's getting sketchy. Yeah, you can't cardinal direction at full speed because then that happens. It constantly tries to overcompensate. I am a little slow. Again, it could be my motor position. It could be all the gear. But I'm not going against current, and I am topping out about 4.8, which is about 0.7 slower than my last kayak. Which doesn't mean much. As long as I can still get into hydros, I don't care what my top speed is. And also, it could just be motor placement. Like I said, my buddy Chris messed with my motor placement. He didn't even do it on purpose. When we were at a show, he was just kind of fiddling with it with his hands. And when I got here, half the prop was out. So I had to, on the fly, adjust it myself. So I might not be in the best. I might, like, the motor placement might be the reason why. Get on, Annie? Oh, you got one? Nice. Was it a blue or channel? Blue? I'm going to head back. Woo! That's chilly. I'm going to head back in the pond and do a little dragging. Yeah, I'm gonna start up there out of the wind if I can. And then I'm just gonna do the bend. If I catch one, cool. If I don't, I'll probably go bump for a little. Gotcha. No, oh, so was it on the ledge, you think, maybe? That's funny. We got to be a little more ginger coming through here. This is flip your kayak / break your prop city. The water's chocolate milk, so can't see a thing. And this is actually the first time I've had this fish finder back here. So all my marks of stumps that are only inches out of the water, I don't have any of the marks. Oh, actually, hold on. We're going back. Mark just got on one. We're gonna go back and watch him reel it in. I want to fly, but I'm only in like 1.5 foot of water. No, I lied. I'm in like 4 foot right now. All right, well, we get to watch one fish get reeled in today. So where I caught all my bait is actually where he caught both his fish so far. So a smart fisherman would set up out here and drag with him. All right, I'm gonna pull up right next to him and then angle the camera over. I'm gonna do my best to get in his way and cut his line. Oh, that was silly. Don't go to the front of your kayak when you're under power. You'll take a lot of water on. All right. Did you hit up on your speed by chance? Yeah, you're flying. All right, maybe I'm just flying. Oh, let's see here. I hope I'm getting a good angle. There we go. That's a good one. So for people unfamiliar with the Ohio River, anything over 10 is not a bad fish, and that is all of 10. Nice. Single hook or double hook? Single hook rig? Gotcha. Ooh, and you got yours pretty high off the bottom too. Nice.
Considering it's only like 8 feet.
Yeah. All right, that gives me some excitement because I have a lot of mine pretty far off the bottom too. Ooh, that wind's chilly. There we go. All right, we got a fish. We got a fish on the live at least. All right. Like a bad fisherman, I'm still gonna go hit the pond up, even though you're catching them where I caught the bait and you've already caught 2. I'm still going to the pond. See you in a little bit. Sounds good. The other one was about that size. That's not a bad one. All right, let me do some. All right, let's see here. Gotcha. Oh, I'm running up on the shore. That's not good. I've seen the Nucanue. I was thinking about yeah, it's a great platform, man. I couldn't not tell you not to get one of these. Yeah, this granted relative. I mean, is it honeymoon phase? Yeah, but also I've been doing this for so long now that I like to believe that I'm at the point where I can look at a kayak and tell you it's going to work. But like always, you never really know what happens until you try. Man, you weren't bad. I came back here earlier before we worked out here. Oh my god! Ah! It was over here this time. Wind's coming from the west, so I'm going to go to the far east of the pond and start my drag there. Normally I start my drag right around here, but the wind will just have me all pissy. This is the best part about having a stronger motor. I can turn around and prep my baits while I'm still going forward. That wind is saying, hey, hey. gonna be not fun. I really hope I catch a fish. This is going to be absolutely just points. So many good marks, though. Jeez. It is loaded. It is so loaded. Now they could be crappie and stuff. This is like renowned crappie fishing back here. All right, so we got our cruise control kicked in. Oh, there are so many good marks. I hope this produces. This is one of those places you might have the best marks in the world, but catch 2 channel cats. Come on, Brett. Come on, Win. Cooperate for 2 seconds. For anyone curious, I am all low profile now. I don't see an advantage of having a bigger having bigger reels. The low profiles have just as much drag strength and they're just as high quality. Yeah, the marks back here are a little different than they normally are. Normally the marks back here, you got a ton of bait and you'll have the occasional big mark. At the moment, it is all big marks, no bait. But this wind is absolutely ruining the ability to consistently drag, which could be a blessing. You know, I did this thing last year on the Ohio River. I called reverse bumping. I was dragging the Ohio River with a bumping rod in my hand with a bumping setup. And I was lifting it up, stopping it, lifting it up, stopping it. Of the 8 rods I was using, 90% of my fish came on that rod, and every single hit came on the stop. So my guess is we had fish that were following it, and then on the pause, they had 2 choices, hit it or swim away. I tried doing that in slack water, like a lake. It doesn't work the same. There has to be some form of resistance against your bait for it to work. All right, my direction isn't working while I'm in cruise control again. This is really annoying. All right, starting to swing sideways. This is why you run planner boards. All right, let's see here. Ha! Hey, what's up, wannabe? No, that's not running boards. I see we just had a little spike. If you guys want to watch the testing, that happened right in the beginning. Right now, we're dragging a pond, and then if we don't catch anything back here, we will we'll go out and bump. I don't think I'm going to be live for the bumping simply because I got to face the other direction. And I can't imagine, I mean, I'm a boring live to begin with. I can't imagine how boring that would be to watch me live bumping the other direction. I'm also going slightly faster than I want to be. I want to be in that 0.3 range, 0.4. But with the wind, the motor keeps on like recompensating for it and jumping up to 0.6, 0.7. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, I keep on coming side to side because of the wind. So annoying. It's all right, though. Hey, what's up, Hondo? Justin, no, Justin ain't this pretty. I need coffee. I haven't had a sip of anything since I've been on the live. Actually, let's see what happens when I lift the scupper plug again. Now that I'm in no wind, or less wind and no current whatsoever back here. I mean, that's to be expected. What's going on here? Did the wind switch directions on me? One catch about dragging back here. The wind will do a 360 on you every now and then. Which it just did. It was just coming this way, and now the wind's going this way. I think I know what all the big marks are. I just saw a guard pop up. I normally don't drag back here if I see a single gar. I normally don't drag back here. That's some good coffee. Always cut your coffee with water. Jeez. The one nice thing about bumping is everything's consistent for the most part. You don't have to worry about this kind of stuff happening. Any comments? Hillbilly, I'm gonna try. I have content from 2022 I still haven't put out. I put one out yesterday. I am getting impatient though. I think I'm gonna go bump here soon. It's so hard not to like when you enjoy bumping and you learn how to bump. It's so hard to do any other style of fishing when that's an option. All right, let's see. Ah, Steve, you're funny. I appreciate it. But of those three people, there's only one not making a living off of this, and that would be me. I wonder. Oh, it just dawned on me this whole time. I don't have my phone charging. Where's the... Oops. All right, well, now my phone's charging. We're going to reset the GoPro here. It's been going forever. West Coast. And now I'm going backwards again. All my lines are going to be so tangled when I reel them up. We're going to get to this point up here, and then we're going to call it a day dragging back here. This is nice. This is this frustration isn't worth the headache. Let's see here. Good, still clear picture. All right. I wish I could show you guys these marks. It'd blow your mind. It's one of those it's those marks where you think to yourself, how am I not even snagging a fish? Let's see here. All right, we got 13 people. If we stay over 10 for the next 5 minutes, I'll go bump, and I'll stay live while I'm bumping. Let me see what kind of hooks I have on my bumping setups. Pretty sure I'm going to need 4s for bumping, but I'm going to take some 3s out just in case. We're reeling in. We're going to go back. I'll be patient. Well, this had a hit. Oh, I'm about to run up on the shore. All right, let's go see Mark. See how many more he's already caught. And we're gonna look on through Ohio River in extremely questionable conditions. Whee! Oh, oh. Yeah, whatever. I didn't push my stuff right enough. Well, with the wind, we're getting about 5. That's not terrible. Now, when I bump, I'm going to try it with no float first. This area is notorious for getting hung. However, Brian and I, if we can go no float, we prefer no float. I have more success bumping without a float. So I have a bump rod set up with each. I actually made a switch. I'm over to an anvil rod. I saw their rod at CatCon and I was really impressed with it. So I was like, I need to try it. My last bumping rod was, I don't like the Bash brand, but or brand Bash, but it wasn't a bumping rod. It was a regular rod with the word bumping on it. I was very depressed. I'm putting off a little wake. That's actually really funny. All right, now I gotta pump the brakes a little. This is Pizza Crop City over here. And I've got so much weight on this kayak. It wouldn't surprise me at all if my if my motor just got ripped right off if I hit something. I don't see Mark. Oh, there he is. He must be doing well because he's still dragging. Let's go say hi. Oh, that wind's going to be coming upstream. Oh, that's going to suck so much. It's a bump. Oh, well. You got lines out? You got lines out? All right. No, it was just a nightmare. The wind would calm down for like a half a second, and then you would start going like 0.9 because the motor would catch up. But then the wind would hit again. And next thing you know, you're going yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, the next thing you know, you're going backwards, and I was just like, the marks are good, but then I saw gar breach, and I was like, yeah, I normally won't even bother fishing this if I see gar. So.
It's still kind of a pain. You're getting, like you said, the wind is slowing you down and catching you up.
Yeah.
Constantly be working a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, no. Like when I was on the other side of the bridge, it wasn't bad at all.
I'm probably going to go back to the bridge and hit this at least once more.
Got it. I'm going to go bump for a little. If I can bump successfully, like if I have any success, I'll stay out there. If not, I'll come back and drag a little more. But bumping's probably the last thing I'm doing live, and then I'll probably just go back to dragging. I got everything I needed today, though, so I'm happy.
Well,
yeah, I didn't fall out of the kayak. I was relatively reckless. By relatively, I mean I was extremely reckless. So I think I got to mess with motor position. I think my shaft's too far in the water. I think I got to lift it a little bit because I'm going pretty slow compared to the take two, but it could just be motor. Well, I'm also completely filled with all my stuff. So
how much heavier is that battery?
I think it's only like 19 or 20 pounds heavier than the 12 volt. Yeah. No, the way I look at it, I think I told you this last night. I'm Chris Minahan's weight with my battery underneath me. Chris, you fat. So the way I looked at it was Chris is fine with his battery, or with him just being here, so I should be fine with my battery here and me. I'm not gonna lie, it is tempting to just drag with you because that wind coming upstream is going to be a night. My hands I'm gonna be so cold.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it easy today. I feel like
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Before you leave, just make sure I'm still alive. I'm gonna stay relatively close. So if I'm not relatively close, I'm really far down. I don't know what time is it. I have no idea. Wait, yeah, I don't have anything set up to tell me time. It's 1 o'clock. Oh, that's not that bad. Gotcha. Same here. All right, let's see here. Thank you, Dale. What's up, Bullet? All right. I'll be coming up on the Ohio River here in a second. So once I'm out there, I do apologize. I will have to kind of focus on everything out there. It's really not conditions. We should be out there. But if I'm live, I'm at White Oak. So if I'm live, I'm at White Oak. If you don't see me flip, send the paramedics to White Oak. So I'll scream out the gate code as I'm flipping. Y'all can help me out. I'm gonna try. Oh, it's God. I just turned a corner. It's even worse now than it was before. Oh. Hey, go big or go home. I promise you, there's no boats out there right now in these conditions. I promise you. It's so tempting to be lazy and just drag this. All right. Here we go. I actually might stand in the back of the kayak to get my nose one lift while I do this. Actually, yeah, before I go out there, I'm gonna turn around and stand in the back of my kayak to give my nose a little more lift. I mean, I really shouldn't be. All right, here goes nothing. try and get past this tree line and then start heading upstream. Oh, that's good. I'm just making sure water ain't coming in over the back of my kayak. I've got like 400 pounds in the back of my kayak right now. All right, we're almost at where I caught my first catfish bumping out of a kayak. You guys can hear that. That's the waves are pulling my prop out of the water. That's how big the waves are. All right, we're in 34 foot. This is about where we want to be. Now we just gotta go up like a quarter mile, half mile. I've never went surfing, but I'm assuming it's something like this. Woo! Took a little water on that time. God, I wish you guys could see this. Oh, my butthole's even puckering a little, and I've done some really sketchy stuff. All right, we got a half decent bump we can do from here. So we're probably gonna call it quits here in a second, going upstream. All right, we're gonna call it quits now. All right, pull the motor. Spot on. I'm sorry I can't get to any of the comments because I'm just not going up there right now. All right, let's I might walk a bait. I might not actually bump. I might just walk a bait. You know, it all depends on how well it goes. All right, let's do this. Oh. No, I don't think we can bump, guys. Oh man. I don't think we can bump. The wind is so strong. It's keeping me. I don't have my motor on. The wind is so strong. I'm being pushed against 3 mile an hour current. And you can't bump. You can't bump going that direction. I'm really bummed. I'm spot locked in 3 mile an hour current facing the current. This is a giant bump. Man. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go try it with Mark. Yeah, we'll knock it out here. This ain't gonna be it. There ain't nobody who needs to see me doing this. I think it's okay. Man, I'm really pumped. At least I know my trust water is waterproof. Man, this is a bump. It's a little bump. Pro tip: when you're in chop like that, don't ride with your scupper plug in. Well, I'm really sad. I was really hoping to bump. Well, I'm gonna answer any questions there might be, and then I'm gonna hop off here. Ugh. Oh, my kayak does not like me being up here in the front while I do this. Ethan, I was wait, where are you fishing like? Oh, Ohio River. It's I was really hoping to go bump. It's bumpable conditions, but the problem is, so the current's about 3 miles an hour, but the wind is so strong, it was pushing me upstream. You can't, like, you got to be going with the current. At minimum, you got to be spot locked to be able to bump. Well, at that, I call that walking baits. If I'm spot locked and I'm walking baits, I call that walking baits. Bumping to me is, current going 3 miles an hour. I would have cut my kayak down to like 1.8 or so, and then I would have bumped doing that. So I mean, it is what it is. I would have bumped that in that conditions if I was going down with the river. But man, that sucks. That's the first time that's ever happened to me where I hit spot lock in 3 mile an hour current and I spun and faced the current. Well, I know there's people back home who are very happy I just got off that river, so. And I'm sure the safety police are going to come after me for it. Go big or go home, though. All right. Thank you, everyone who watched. I'm not going to put you through the misery of watching me drag again. So I'm out. Peace.